This is from one of our kids, and they said they wanted to know, is Jesus a person? Jesus is a person, obviously. You know, he has a will, an intellect, and all of those things that make up personhood. But as far as, is Jesus a human, that's a kind of a tricky question. You know, the Bible tells us that, first of all, that Jesus is God. Hebrews chapter 1, especially from about verse 5 and on down, says that the Father, God the Father, calls Jesus God. God the Father tells the angels to worship Jesus as God. God the Father tells us that Jesus has a throne that he sits on. The Bible tells us that the Father will make Jesus's enemies his footstool. The Bible tells us there in Hebrews that Jesus is the creator. It tells us in the book of John that Jesus created everything, that he spoke our universe into existence, and everything in the whole universe was made by Jesus. All those things tell us that Jesus is God. But the Bible also tells us that God is a spirit. John chapter 4 tells us that God is a spirit. So if God's a spirit, how can Jesus be God? And that's what happened on Christmas. We call that the incarnation. It's a big word, and it means that Jesus was in heaven, and he stepped down out of heaven and he became a man to live among us. So what that means, basically God put on a human suit. He put on a humanity. He wore humanity like you might wear a jacket. And so Jesus is God, and he's also man. It's a very incredible miracle that the Bible records, that God left heaven and lived among us in the form of Jesus. So yes, Jesus is God and also man. Yes, Jesus is a person. I hope that answers your question. That's a good question.